Hello, I'm not expecting a huge amount of people today because it's nice and sunny outside, pubs are open and restaurants as well, and my cat is climbing the cushion.
People will say I'm not flexible.
Sorry. Need to put it on mute. Yes, I'm not expecting a huge amount of people today, just purely because of the weather. It's lovely outside. Hope everybody's okay. Thought I'd start. I was so few. I was popped into Morrison's earlier, and I've got a couple of finds, so I'll do that until people come on. So, got vanilla flavour protein rice from Muller and chocolate flavoured protein rice from Muller. So I scanned it into the app and it says 3 smart points. It's 3 smart points for 100 grams. There is 180 grams in there. They're 5 smart points each, which is still great for Muller rice because Muller rice is normally about 9 or 10, and I do like a bit of rice pudding sometimes. So they're my new finds for today. But I wish people would put 100 grams. They've actually put a portion, or one person's put 180 grams, which really annoys me. Because then I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's 3 points. No, it's not the 5. But yeah, hope everybody's okay. Hello, how are you? I want to apologise as well because I really want to sneeze. I wanted to sneeze for about 10 minutes. So if I do, I'm really sorry. I just feel like it's coming. So cold today. Got a new hot water bottle. I've got a Percy Pig hot water bottle today. So excited. The things that excite me these days. I know everyone was really excited to go and get their haircuts, and I do need a good haircut, but I was more excited about taking my car to the car wash the other day. I was like, yeah, I could take my car for a wash. I've only had it a couple of weeks and it's still really dusty already. So I was just really excited about going to the car wash. Has anybody got any questions? Hiya, Wendy. Hello. Hello, Miss Bex. Hello. Loved your yoga jumpsuit. Are you finding it okay doing yoga in it, or is it restrictive? Now, I put it on, put them both on once. So I've got like a light blue one and I've got a navy one. I put them both on once. They're both fine. They're both really, really flexible. The second one I got was a different fit. So the first one you sort of tie up around the back. So it's not the easiest of things to put on. I was a bit like that. I have to do yoga to get into it. But it's not, I don't find them restrictive. It's just the first one was a little bit. Hello, Derry. I have found a way that I can do. It won't be a Zoom because unfortunately with Zoom I can only do 40 minutes at a time. So it's restrictive, and it's restrictive on the amount of people that you can have unless you pay for it. But I have got another way. And I have found out how to do it. I've been fiddling today. That's been my task for today, is to find out how to do a semi-Zoom meeting. But yeah, the second jumpsuit, the dark navy one, I don't know if you've seen it. I did post it on Instagram the other day, but the navy one is lovely. It's really, really nice. The material's lovely. It's flexible. Love the first one, but the second one's just so much more comfy because I don't have to mess around. Although when you have to go for a pee, you have to take the whole thing off. But then it's a jumpsuit. So I don't know why I expected anything different. Yeah, they're so nice. Those jumpsuits are lovely. I've been wanting one for ages from Sweaty Betty, but they're really expensive. And the first one, the light blue one I found, was in the sale for about £46, I think. So I thought, right, I'll try that one. And then they'd already given me 20% off because it was a year since I ordered from them before. I ordered my yoga mat from them. My first yoga mat that I got. So I got 20% off. So, but then the second one was lovely as well. So I'm tempted to get another, but I only need one yoga suit, never mind 2. So I think I'll be fine how I am. But yeah, what I found that I can do is, instead of a Zoom meeting, because when I was on earlier, you have to pay if you want more people and more time. So what I've done is I was having a Google. Hi, Sarah. I was having a Google earlier to see what there was out there, and there are a few things that I can use, but I think the easiest one, and the one because most of you'll be able to access it, is the Google Meet. I've set up the meeting on mine already. So what I'll do is I'll take the Google Meet from there and I'll pop it in the description for this video when it's finished. So it normally takes a day or so before it shows up for some reason. But if you do click on a link that I gave you earlier, the link for this video, then the link for this live, then you should be able to get on. So I'll pop that in there and I'll do it for 5 o'clock next Saturday. It will be a bit of a test. Fortunately, I can't record it on the Meet because again I have to pay for that as well. So what I'll do is I'll record me doing the meeting, so it won't show any of you, but people obviously will be able to hear you. And you can also use the chat box as well if you don't want to. So that's what I'll try now, and obviously if it goes well then I can look at maybe paying for it, but if it doesn't go well there's no point in me putting money in unless I know how it's going to go and how easy it is to use. So it'll be Google Meet that I'll do it on instead of Zoom. Because yeah, I think it's £115 they want me to pay. So, and everyone knows, if you watch my channel, you know how stingy I am anyway. So how's the plan going for everyone? Whatever plan you're on, how's it going? I just can't believe I lost £10.8 this week. It was a lot of water, I will admit. It will be a lot of water, but I do feel smaller than I was. So yeah, I can't believe that. That is I think the most I've lost is about 11 point something before officially, and that wasn't even my first week. I think my first week I lost about £6, £7. So, but that goes to show you that what my body's used to, and then I do have big gains, but then I can have a big loss as well. Plus the fact that I've been really struggling the past few weeks with my losses. I've like had odd gains for no reason. So have you been back to an express meet yet? I was going to go this week. Somebody asked me to go with them a good few months ago now. They said that I had a message on Instagram and she was going, I'd really like to go to a workshop, but I don't know what they're like. I don't know what to do. So I said that I'd go with her, and I was supposed to go the other day with her, but unfortunately she had to cancel. So I was tempted to go, but my problem is if I go at the moment, I'm not sure the difference between my scales and their scales, because it's been so long since I've been to a Weight Watchers meeting or WW meeting. I'm not sure what the difference is going to be in the scales. I think I should be within goal range because I'm not paying. I'm not touching those scales if I've got to pay. So at 13.1 I can go up to 13.5. So I'm 13.1 at the moment. Because I've lost another 0.6 since Thursday because I'm a daily weigher. So hopefully when I go, I am going to go this week, hopefully with the lady, because she said, I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. I'm fine with that. Don't know if you can get 2 people in at once, but I'll meet her outside and just say hello and go on in. I think it's, no, the coach is Zoe. So I'll just go on in. She's fine. I don't think I've met her in person, but I have spoken to her online. So yeah, I will be going to an express workshop this week. I was tempted next week. I was tempted this week, but my seat's a little bit too close for comfort with that £5 difference. So I'm on the blue plan. Used all my weeklies yesterday, but otherwise it's going well. That's what your weeklies are there for. I think I had my McDonald's yesterday, so I've got about 29 left. Might use a couple today, but I might have a McDonald's breakfast tomorrow. I've got 20% off if you use the app, you get 20% off till Tuesday. So I was thinking I might just have a McDonald's breakfast in the morning and use the rest of my weeklies. That's what they're there for. As long as you've enjoyed them, that's the important thing. It's when I can't think of anything worse than eating stuff and wasting points on it. I just think, what a waste of points. Hi Sarah, this is Jill. I've had 2 days off plan and gained £5. How do you get motivated to get back on it? If I had the other Sunday, Monday off because it's my birthday, I feel really bad when after I've had a couple of days off. I feel really lethargic. I feel really thirsty. And I do actually weirdly crave fruit and veg now. So I sort of do look forward to getting back on plan. I had a little bit of a blip again last week, but I actually prefer to be in control. Probably not the healthiest thing to do, but I do like that control. So for me, it's about going, right, I've had a day off, I've enjoyed it, it was really nice, and now I'll get back up again, get back on it again. And that's the important thing to me. I'm just going to get back on it. If I have a good day, that's fine. If I have a little bit of a blip again, like I did last week, it's fine. enjoyed it, I didn't enjoy it, I'll take that on board and take any gain and just get back on it. £5 gain, most of that's going to be water, like mine was. Most of it will be water, and in my head I automatically go, oh no, look at the scales, they've gone through the roof, what am I going to do? And then I just think, no, just get back on it. Even if I lose half of that, that's still half of it, and I'll get the rest off eventually. It does always come off. So it's just about just going, right, that's it, I've had enough. If it happens again, that's fine, I'll just take it on the chin. I need to assess whether I've enjoyed those foods or not, because it is a big part of it, whether I've enjoyed what I've eaten, because next time I have a day off plan, I want to know that the foods that I'm having I'm going to enjoy, and I'm not just going to waste my time eating calories and stuff to have that gain for something that I've not really enjoyed in the first place. So yeah, take the gain, acknowledge what you've eaten, acknowledge if you like it or not, and then just get straight back on it. That's what I say. Planning doesn't always work for me. I'm not really a big planner. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as I've got chicken in the fridge, I've got tins of tuna and stuff, I'm fine. I'll just go, right, what do I fancy to eat today? I'll have something I fancy, and that's it. My planning is having the food in, not actually planning meals, because it never goes well for me. I always change my mind. I gauge paying £7 for the app, let alone £115 for a meeting space. I know. I was having a look and I was thinking, right, what does Zoom offer? So Zoom offer 40 minutes for, and I think if it's more than 3 people, it's 40 minutes. And then if I want like more minutes than that, which obviously sometimes these can go on for a little while, depending on and obviously people are going to want to join because it'll be the first one, so it could go on for a little while, but it's just going to cut us off. So I think the meat is the better option for now, and then obviously the only thing is that I can't record it, and I know some people have said that if they can't get on, they'd like me to record it so that they can then play it back and then come on to the next one. So Derry's had a few bad weeks, currently sat a pound over my goal weight, so back on it today. Brilliant. I think sometimes we just need a break. Sometimes I just get so pointy fatigued sometimes. I'm just like, I just can't be bothered. I don't even know what's in some things. I'll just sit there and go, I can sit up there and go, because my lounge is upstairs, and go, right, what am I having to eat? Well, that's 2 points, that's this many points, so my meal will be that. So, and I just, sometimes I just go, I just can't be bothered to point it anymore. I've just had enough of pointing to beer. So, Louise, my scales, oh my God, my scales are way out, so I've put 5.5 on. Is that because your scales are wrong? I boot mine around the room sometimes. I hate it when they're wrong. I'm like, it's got to be wrong, it's got to be wrong. Sarah, struggling at night with binge eating. I have willpower all day, but through the night, I have none. I tend to try and fill up, so that's why I have things like jelly and a protein pod, because I find that quite filling. If I know that I'm going to, if I've got it in the back of my head that I'm going to struggle, I'll whack some tin fruit with that as well, because that will fill me up for longer. So I'll have all three. I also, if I need to, I'll use some of my points, but literally the only thing that's ever worked for me with binge eating is getting rid of everything. It's the only thing that's ever worked, was just clearing all my cupboards out. I had to get rid of absolutely everything, and that's when I started Slimming World. So when I started Slimming World, right at the beginning, I just cleared my house out of everything. Didn't have any cakes, crisps, biscuits, because if it's there and I've got that cycle in my head, I'm going to eat it. And I knew I was going to eat it. So as far as I was concerned, if I cleared it out, I'd have to physically go and get in the car to go to the shops to buy it. And I never went out the house at sort of after a certain period of time. So if I got back from work, I wouldn't leave the house again. So there's no way I'd go in my car to go and get stuff to eat, because I just didn't do that. Once I was in, I was in. Hi, Rebecca. So once I was in the house. So there was no way I was going to go out and buy chocolate, because I felt a binge coming on. And because I was doing Slimming World, I just made sure my meals were massive and I was full. So I didn't have that. The only thing I could binge on was the food that I was eating, which was pasta, chicken, things like that. So Does my partner moan there's no goodies in the house? My partner did buy goodies for my partner, but I'm quite lucky in the fact that I don't eat the same stuff as he does. I have no interest whatsoever in the stuff that he really likes. I don't like. He likes things like Jaffa cakes, can't stand them. He likes things like Ruffles, really don't like them. Turkish Delight, it's all right, but no, it's not something that I'd particularly binge on. So he, crisps wise as well, he prefers different crisps. Like he'll have pickled onion monster much, which I really don't like. He'll have snaps, which I don't like. So food wise, I could buy stuff for him and it really wouldn't bother me, because it's just something that I would never ever touch. I don't like the taste of them, so I would never eat them, especially Jaffa cakes. Ruffles as well, not a fan. It's the middle bit of them, they're not very nice. Hi, will you be doing a meet up in person at some point, like a brunch for WW members? We have had meet and eats before. They were organised by Helen, who is on Instagram now because she's left WW. She's doing the body coach, I think. She has organised a few meets for Connect, but I have thought about doing them, but I'm really not organised. I'm really not that organised. I spoke to a friend and went, you should do one, and she's gone, no, you should do one, and I'm like, I'm really not that organised to do it. It is a lot of organisation, and I'm really not that. I'm far too scatty for that. I'm amazed I get out of the house in the morning. Some mornings I had to go ordered some stuff from Marks and Spencer's, and can someone tell me, are Marks and Spencer's bras smaller than other bras? Because I got measured at Bravissimo and they said I was a 34D. So I got bras from them that are 34Ds. I've got bras from Asda that are 34Ds. All fit me. I've got bras from other places that are all 34Ds. Ordered 2 sports bras and 2 normal bras from Marks and Spencer's the other day. And there is no way that 34 would fit me. You're looking at least, I would say I would be about a 38, if not more. And I was like, what the heck, what's going on? I've not, when I put a bit of weight on, which obviously I have, but then again, I haven't put that much on. I'm about 7 pounds over what I normally sit at. I normally sit about 12.7. So, but weirdly, when I put weight on, I put weight on my stomach and my bum. So I don't put it on at the top. I just don't, unless I get really big. But then even then, it's weird, really strange like that. So when I put this bra on, there was no way it was going to fit. I'm sure there's something wrong with Marks and Spencer's bras. I was like, there's no way I'm a 38. I've got it. Oh, it's weird. Yeah, I have thought about it, and I think because Helen has now left WW, obviously there won't be any more Connect meet and eats unless somebody else takes up the mantle. But yeah, I have thought about it, because I've thought about doing it at where I used to go to the gym at the Hilton. They've obviously got like suites and stuff there. That's a massive like convention place. So I have thought about it, and I may look into it a little bit more if more people would be interested in doing it. But obviously that comes with like hotel rooms and stuff. Because it's got the station there, it's fine. And obviously once COVID calms down a lot more, hopefully, then we can look at maybe doing something like that. But I have met people for coffee. I've got friends. I've met a lot of friends through Connect, through WW. So I have met a lot of people through it. So I do have a friend that lives in Birmingham that I go for coffee for, purely because I met them on Connect. Yeah, so more than happy to give it a try-ish, but I'd have to have quite a few people that would be interested, obviously, because there's no way that I'd put a deposit down on something. It would have to be negotiating with the hotel. So yeah, I would think about it. Sarah said, thank you, my hubby just said that's a great idea, and he's gone to get a bag and he's going to take it to work. Yeah. It's literally the only thing that's worked is to get rid of it. Sarah's asked, can I ask about a fried egg? If you use fry light spray, do you count it as 3 points? Is that for a large egg? If it was a medium eggs are 2 smart points. I tend to go for mediums because just because. Or is that on blue plan? What plan are you doing? Because if it's on blue and you fry it in fry light, it would be 0 smart points. If it is on green, you just point the egg. You don't point the fried. So don't put it in as fried, just put it in as the egg. So on blue, it'd be 0, on purple, it'd be 0, and on green, depending on the size, I think it's 2 points for a medium. Blue, it'd be 0 points. You don't need to point it because it's in fry light. The fried egg is if it's fried in oil. But then what I'd tend to do is I wouldn't just put 3 points down. I would sort of measure my oil and I'd make sure I only put a little bit in. So that's how I'd do it. Yeah, and a meetup would be nice, but it's obviously it's logistically, it's how many people would come. It's Helen is really good at doing stuff like that. She's just amazing. She's really, really uber organised. She does meal plans for the whole week and stuff, and I can't even plan my day. I'm that bad. Meat to ask Sarah, do you point oil when cooking? Bit of a plateau, but you don't count your oil. I don't use oil. Don't use oil at all in my cooking. The only time that I would use oil, I would measure it and point it anyway, but I literally don't. If I'm doing something like spag bowl, I'll fry it in water. I did that all the way back from Slimming World, so I just carried that forward. I'll just fry it in water because I find fry light ruins my pans, so I just fry in water now. I'm not ruining me any more pans. How often do you keep to your points? All the time. Most of the time I keep to my points. If I have a day off plan, I have a day off plan. I don't point it. I know some people point their days off plans, but I don't. If it's a day off, it's a day off. I don't point, I don't measure, I don't weigh, I don't even guesstimate if it's a day off. But if I'm on it, I'm on it. And I will tell people when I've had a day off. I will readily admit I'll have a day off because I know that I'm going to have a massive gain. And I'm really quite honest. I think I'm a bit too honest sometimes. But yeah, hiya, hello. Hi Lorraine, hiya. Hello everybody. Everyone that's just popped up, hello. Yeah, so I point everything. So today I have been to Cafe Nero. I've had a coffee, I pointed that. Then I came home, I had another coffee, I've pointed that. I've had a mocha, pointed that. I literally point everything all day and it's straight in the app as soon as I have it. I've even pointed my tea tonight because I've got some stuff to use up, so I know exactly what I'm having for my tea after this, and I've already pointed that. It's all in the app, it's all measured out, and I'm just literally ready to just whack it on the plate and go. I've already weighed it. I'm that organised today. I've already weighed it. So yeah, it's where points are concerned, anything that's pointed, I literally point. So Jill's put, you fascinate me with all the different milks you use for your drinks throughout the day. I am quite sneaky when it comes to points. I know that because I have Arla Best of both milk, so that's the yellow labelled one in the supermarkets, in the white bottle in UK supermarkets. And I know 35 mils is 0 smart points. I know 105 mils is 1 point. But if I know I'm having 2 drinks in a day, 2 cups of teas, I will have 100 mils because I'll have 50 mils in each, and I measure that out as well. If I'm having a coffee, it depends how many points I've got. I know that my almond milk, barista almond milk, 245 mils is 2 smart points. The coconut one, 240 mils is 3 smart points, and my oat milk, 230 mils is 4 smart points. So I know my milks, and I can be quite sneaky throughout the day. I've also got the California one, whatever it is. I use the almond milk of that, and I think it's about 80-90 mils of that is 0 points, so I can have one of those in a drink. So it's all about, as far as I'm concerned, it's about being sneaky. I am, and I know other people that have been successful on WW that do exactly the same as me. Exactly the same when it comes, not just with milks but with all kinds of stuff. It's about just being a little bit sneaky sometimes. Sometimes I just weigh it and get on with it, but sometimes I will push it that little bit further to see how much I can get away with stuff. So yeah, exactly. If you change anything in the app to mils or grams and just see how much you sometimes get with stuff, It makes a huge difference. Yeah, Almond Breeze from Tesco's gives you 400 mils for 1 smart points. That's a huge amount of almond milk for your points. So yeah, it's all about being a bit clever with your smart points. I know I get 30 points a day and I get 42 weeklies. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna make the most of them. I'm gonna maximize them, and I'm gonna make the most of them. So 0 pointed foods. I know on obviously the blue and the purple plan, you get different 0 pointed foods. I'm on green, so it's literally the only 0 pointed foods are fruit and veg. And it's not even all fruit and veg. Sweet corn's pointed, peas are pointed. So yeah, it's about maximizing them. So I know that I'll probably get at least 3 or 4 portions of fruit in a day. I eat apples as well, which I don't always show people. I will have at least 2 apples a day because I will just grab them out of the fridge, so I don't always record those. But always know I'm having at least 2 apples on top of what I'm eating as well during the day. I'll have either peaches, mango. Hello Adele. Yeah, so I will maximise my 0 pointed foods. I'll make sure that I have plenty of fruit and veg. Where the green plan's concerned, it's about lowering my amount of carbs. That's what I found as I went along. Obviously, when I first started, I was on 56, I think, daily points and 42 weeklies, and I've always used all of those. So I was on 56 points, so I'd have carbs, I'd have extra bread, I'd have like I would make the most of that. But then as I lost, they dropped down. So I was quite lucky in the respect that as they've dropped down, I've learned to adapt the way I've eaten. And I know with some people, obviously you're starting on 30 smart points on the green plan a day or 23 on blue. So it's not as easy to adapt, but I've managed to adapt as I've gone along. So as I've lowered those points, I've used less carbs, so I've used less potatoes, I've used less pasta, and I've got to the point now where I can have a meal without pasta and potatoes because it's weighing up what I want more. Do I want that packet of crisps in the evening? Is that going to stop me raiding the cupboard, or do I have some potatoes with my meal? I've not realised through all of this that I would always have pasta or potatoes or some kind of carb on my meal, and I actually don't need them. It's not something that I'll go, right, when I'm planning a meal, I'll go, what do I really want on there? And potatoes are one of the last things to put on, and pasta as well is one of the last things. I'll happily eat bolognese, but just have the mince and the tomato sauce. That'll be fine for me because I like protein. I like meat and I like protein, so that's what I'll focus on, and then I can always whack veg on if I want. So to me, it's about maximizing your 0 pointed foods and weighing up what options you've got. I mean, when I have a roast dinner, I won't have potatoes on it because to me the important parts of my roast dinner are pointed wise the meat, the Yorkshire pudding and the stuffing and the gravy. That's the important bit. If I've got extra points throughout the day and I know that I'm going to have a few extra points, I may decide to put potatoes on, but then I'd rather go and buy a bag of Sweden carrots from Asda, boil them and mash them instead of having mashed potato. I'd rather have that. So it's about just thinking about the foods that that you don't really enjoy, but that you've always put on your plate because they sort of always have belonged there. It's really strange, the stuff that I'll have on my plate, because I've always had them, when actually I can leave potatoes on a roast dinner. I do like roasters, I absolutely love them, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't miss them when I'm having a roast dinner, really don't. So it's just about being a little bit cleverer with the way that you use your points. So, I mean, someone was asking yesterday, I had a McDonald's yesterday. It was planned. In fact, I was tempted to have a quarter pounder with cheese and medium fries, which would be 27 points. But then I was thinking, do I really want a quarter pounder or do I want nuggets? And I thought, well, if I have nuggets, I can also have a cheeseburger for the same amount of points with the fries than I would if I'd had a quarter pounder meal. So I was like, do you know what? I'll have that. That's 27 points still. But someone was asking what I do on Instagram, what I do when I have something like that. And it's like, well, normally I'd probably have chicken and salad for tea if I'm hungry at all. But yesterday I really fancied mashed potato. So it's like, well, if I need to use some weeklies, that's what they're there for. So it's just about deciding what you want. And I'll always have one meal a day that I really fancy. just purely because I really want that. So it's about thinking about what you want and what you like. And sometimes I think we do just eat foods because we've always have, not because we're actually thinking about whether we're enjoying them and whether we like them or not. So I think sometimes it's about being mindful about when you have a meal, be mindful and think about whether you're enjoying what you're eating. It's a huge thing for me. I've realised that a lot of the foods that I ate when I was 31 stone, I didn't really like. I just ate them because I thought I liked them. Didn't really taste them. But they're not something that I would necessarily choose to eat now. So do I use any artificial sweeteners? Yeah, I do. I use this. I think I've got the silver spoon one at the moment, but I don't take sugar in my tea. I don't take sweeteners or sugar or anything in my tea. The only time that I use sweeteners is if I have porridge or ready break. Definitely ready break. I need sweeteners in ready break. But then I use syrups as well in that. Or if I am doing stewed plums, but I'll just put a little bit in to taste. So yeah, I do use them, but not a huge amount. Sarah, I'd like to say that I'm no longer with WW. I love the app, but it just wasn't working for me. So I've decided to go to RC, which is Calorie Counting. I'm finding it better. Still following you. I think we're similar. Yeah, it's whatever suits you at the time, and I think everybody is different, and I think throughout your journey it's different as well. So when I started with Slimming World, and that's what I needed at that time. I needed to clear everything out, and obviously with Slimming World you can still have whatever you can still have chocolate, you can still sin it, but you just can't have as much. There's no way I could have had the McDonald's I had yesterday on Slimming World. There's no way I would have worked that out, and I would have just seen that as a failure in my head. So that's the good thing about WW for me. And obviously calorie counting's the same. You can have those things and just count them, whether it's calories you're counting or whether it's points you're counting. So that's the good thing about it for me. But I think as you go along and as your journey continues, you obviously things change, your circumstances change, the way that you think about food changes. So it's just what suits you at the time. Like I said before, I have tried calorie counting before, and it's just because I'm so concise with everything that I literally weigh everything. I feel the need to weigh the fruit and veg, which obviously I do because I'm calorie counting, but I've just found it so tedious myself. But then obviously it's very different for everyone, and it's about what suits you at the time and how your journey's going and what works. I've seen loads of people quite a few people have swapped to calorie counting now, and it's working brilliantly for them, really, really well, and that's brilliant. I follow quite a few people on Instagram that calorie count, and I do think, oh, shall I try it? And then I think I just can't. I tried the NutriCheck and I just found it so tedious. But then that's just me because I'm so literally, I don't put anything in my app that is 0 point, that I know is 0 pointed. So I don't put apples in, I don't put bananas in, I don't put peaches in, I literally don't. So yeah, Bexy's put calorie counting really was messing with my head. I get very much like that. When I was doing the blue plan, I got really got in my head the fact that I can't lose one on blue. For some reason, blue just does not suit me. I don't know if it's a thing with the lentils, with chickpeas, legumes, just in general, whether I think they bloat me sometimes. I'm not entirely sure. I've tried eating them, I've tried not eating them. But with the blue plan, I did not lose well at all, and it really started to mess with my head, and that's what I get concerned about with calorie counting as well, that it starts messing with my head a little bit. With blue, I had to change from blue to no count because it was getting to the point where I got to goal on blue. It took me 6 months to lose a stone. It was really hard work. And then when I joined the gym, I put weight on because obviously I joined the gym, so I was retaining fluid, and it took me ages to get that off as well. But then I was concerned that I wasn't eating enough or I was eating too much, and should I really have that chicken breast? It was really starting to mess with my head. So in the end I went, you need to stop, You need to just stop what you're doing and switch to no count, because I know I do like no count. And on that, I know that I will have milky drinks and I will have porridge. And plus I was going through a phase, even though I think it was the beginning of summer and it was really quite warm, but I just really wanted hot milky drinks and porridge. So no count hit the spot for me then. And I did that for just over a year, nearly a year and a half, I think, before they switched back over to plans. I tried the blue plan again when it was flex. I did try it again, and I just couldn't do it. So the blue plan just does not work for me. Patricia's put, I spent a whole year messing around on blue. I've been constantly losing before it, and now I'm losing well again on green. Blue, I don't know what it is about the blue plan. I really don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the I know it's worked brilliantly for some people. I know people that have lost 8-9 stone on blue and done brilliantly on it, but and then it's not even like it's a huge amount of points difference. It is 7 points a day, but those 7 points are really precious to me. That's like 2 slices of my thick bread. I have no idea what it is with blue, but I really couldn't lose well on it. So, Bexy, I was just makes me too obsessed with WW. At least there are things you don't have to measure and can snack on if you're hungry. With calories, once you've run out, that's it. Yeah, I know, I'm exactly the same. If I get to the end of the day and post my video for the end of the day, I know that if I'm really bad, if I really do have to have something, I can go and have an apple, I can go and have a banana. I know I can have that. So, but yeah, with the blue, I don't know what it is about blue. But I really struggle, really struggled, and it took me so long to lose weight. But then, like Jill said, she's lost over 5 stone with blue. That's absolutely brilliant. I know someone that's lost 8 stone on blue. I really don't know what it is. I know when they switched over to freestyle, I know that a lot of people left WW because it was they just couldn't do it. I think it's the fact that they took the points away, and if you don't eat chicken, you don't eat legumes, you don't eat a lot of eggs, and I'm not really a huge eggy person. I've had 3 today because I've had eggs and asparagus, but then I can go another week and a half without having an egg. So it was just, I was having them because I was hungry. I was just really hungry on blue. I just really struggled. So Sarah, I'm the same with me. I'm on blue. I was meant to start green on Monday, but stuff happened, so I'm definitely changing on Monday. Like I said, some people, blue plan works an absolute dream, and people lose a lot of weight. But I think I started off on the old Smart Points plan, which was the green plan. So losing those 7 points, to start off with, I was like, oh yeah, I can have chicken, I can have, yeah, you like fish. But then but I just have loads of chicken. But that's the thing about purple. I was when the new plans came in, I was really sure, because I'd done no count, that I'd do purple. But there was no extra meat. It's exactly the same 0 pointed meat as you get on blue. So I was like, well, that's a bit strange. You're not adding beef. They weren't really adding anything. It was very strange. I was like, I'm really upset now. I was more upset than the fact they didn't have 0 pointed milk on the purple plan. I was like, well, there's no milk. What am I going to do? And then I suddenly thought, hang on a minute, why don't I do green? I lost over 9 stone on the old Smart Points plan, which is the green plan. I'll just do the green plan. It's back. And I do love it. It's the one that suits me better, and I love it. I'm not really a carby person, like I said, so green plan suits me really well. Where carbs are concerned, it's always bread for me. So, yeah, I'd rather spend my points on bread than potatoes, as far as I'm concerned. So, Adele, I started in Slimming World, and the ethos of eat as much as you like I saw as a challenge, and decided to give WW a whirl. I'm 6 stone down in a year, and it's been being in and off plan, and that's being in and off plan. Yeah, Slimming World, I did eat a lot as well. I ate huge amounts. I didn't really see it as a challenge. Like I've never been a breakfasty person. If you see what I eat in a day, I don't tend to have breakfast. I'm not hungry in the morning. If I eat in the morning, it makes me hungry, and it makes me eat more. Whereas I normally don't get hungry I may get a hunger pang around 10 o'clock, but sometimes that's because I haven't had a drink yet. I can go to like, I'm really naughty sometimes, I can go to like 10, 11 o'clock before I'll have my first drink. So with me, it's hang on a minute, have I had a drink? No, I haven't. I'll have a drink. And normally that goes. I literally don't feel hungry in the morning. So with me, when I started Slimming World, I was having my healthy extra was porridge in the morning, and I'd have overnight oats, and I'd have all of my, I'd eat all of those. Then I'd have a big dinner, then I'd have a tea. But my problem with Slimming World is I'm not the best cook, and I find a lot of Slimming World stuff is very tomato based. which is fine, but I get a bit bored after a while. So my staples were tomato based stuff and also pork chops with pasta and mayonnaise and cheese, because I used to sin the mayonnaise and my cheese were my healthy extra. So that, and literally I was finding that was what I was eating. I was going from one day having pasta, pork chops, and because I really loved it, and I don't really have that now. I really need to do that again. I'd have that one day, and then the next day I'd have like spag bowl, and then I'd have that again, my pasta and my pork chops. Then I'd have spag bowl, then I'd have pasta and pork chops, and then I'd chuck a cooked dinner in. Then I'd go around again. So it was like never ending cycle, and I'd end up like batch cooking a huge load of mince and then spend 3-4 days just eating the same thing, which is why I don't tend to batch cook now. I get really bored really easily, so I like to just go, right, I'm going to have a ready meal today, right, I'm just going to grab a sandwich today. It's whatever I fancy. That's the good thing about it. You need to be able to have what you want, and that's what I like about WW. I can have what I want. I can switch my points around, like with my milk. I can be a bit sneaky, and I can go, right. Like I've had a bread roll before and taken a bit off because it weighs less and I've lost a point, so I get an extra point to use on something else. So you can be sneaky. And that's why I like weighing stuff as well. Some you win, some you lose, but it's one of those things. Oh, hang on, let me go down. Bexy, I've lost 9 stone on blue, and it really agrees with me, but having said that, I don't really eat legumes. It was anything to bulk out. I just felt really quite hungry on blue. Weirdly, I don't feel hungry on green, but weirdly I felt really hungry on blue, and like to the point where I'd go to my fridge because I just felt hungry, and I'd have like half a pot of yogurt or a pot of yogurt, and then it wasn't what I wanted. I wasn't satisfied, so then I'd go and eat something else. I just didn't feel that I was ever satisfied with blue, and that was part of it. I wasn't eating the foods that I really want, which is what I do with blue. So but it is literally, Jill's lost 5 stone with blue. So it's one of those. It either suits you or it doesn't, and it really did. It was more foisted upon me because they got rid of the smart points. So it was like, right, this is the plan that you've got to do. And I was like, I did try and embrace it. I really did try and embrace it. I mean, the first 3 weeks I put on. I gained the first 3 weeks on blue. First week I didn't, and that was partly because the first few weeks I think I did use all my points. I'm not sure, but I wasn't eating all my weeklies either the first few weeks, and I wasn't particularly hungry then. It was as it went along that I found that I wasn't satisfied, and I'd end up eating stuff that just to get more food in me. If that makes any sense. Yeah, it was just the fact that I just didn't feel full. I just wanted more and more food, so I'd end up eating yogurt. And then when I've actually worked it out, it's sort of like on green, you're looking at one of those pots of yogurts is like 5 points, 6 points, and I'd eat the whole thing. And yeah, so it's all calories at the end, and it really was messing with my head. So Amanda, I've tried them all, and like the accountability of green, it allows me more choice. Other meats aren't free on blue. Exactly. I have a thing. I do like a bit of pork, do like a bit of beef occasionally. I was having this conversation with my partner yesterday. I actually WhatsApped him and went, what should I have from McDonald's? I don't know what to have, because I don't tend to go with beef burgers because they tend to be quite high in points. If I go for a burger, it tends to be a chicken, because obviously it's less. Because I was looking at the Gourmet Burger Kitchen the other day, and it would be chicken with them because their beef burgers are really high. I was looking at, they've got a monster one. It's really, really nice. And I was looking the other day, and I think it's about 43 points for the burger. I was like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. It does look amazing, by the way, but 43 points on a burger is just out of my range. That would be on a day off plan burger, that would be. But do you have any advice on getting back on track? It's depends. I mean, I don't plan. I'm not a planner. I have said that before. But what I will do is I have foods in that are 0 pointed. That's my planning. My planning is having those foods in. So I know that I've got chicken breast in, which is 2 points, 3 points, depending on how big it is. That's my planning. So if you need to get back on track and planning's for you, then plan your week ahead. If you find it's because you're eating stuff that you shouldn't, like I've said before, it's about literally the only thing that's ever worked for me is clearing my cupboards out. That's the only thing that's ever worked, because if it's there and I've got it in my head, I will eat it. And I still will do that. If it's in my head, I will eat it. So I will get rid of it. Like that chocolate spread the other day, I had to get rid of that. So it's about, if planning works for you, plan ahead. Know how many points. I mean, if plan your main meals, try and stick to your dailies if that helps, and then use your weeklies for those extra bits that you might need. With me, it's about feeling full as well. If I'm hungry, then I'm going to snack and I'm going to eat. So like I said before, it's about things like sugar-free jelly's brilliant. Fruit is tinned fruit in juice, which is 0 smart points when you drain the juice off, is great. Protein pots, they're like 3 points, depending on which ones you get, 2 or 3 points. Find them quite filling. I tend to fill up a lot on protein as well. So like the other day, it was a lot about, I had a lot of meat. I went through a stage where I just really fancied sausages. So I thought, right, I'll have sausages. So it's about filling up on protein. I think I had sausages and chicken one day together, because it's about protein for me, and I find that fills me up for longer and keeps me full. So yeah, it's about what works for you. I'm not a planner personally, but then I know people that will plan, and even if you can plan for a couple of days and stick to it, that works for some people. With me, I will literally just wake up and go, right, I've got 30 points to spend today. That's how many I'm going to spend. I've got those extra few weeklies if I need them, but my main thing is that I'm going to stick to those. It's like money for me, and I don't know why I'm getting like that, because I'm terrible with money. But where I'm concerned, those points are my money, and I'm not going over them. I'm not. If I do use my weeklies, it's fine. That's what they're there for. But if I put my mind to it, I'm going to stick to those 30 points, and that's how many I'm going to have. I'm quite stubborn like that though, and that's what's got me this far. That's what's helped me on my journey, is the fact that I'm so stubborn. Before, I was stubborn because people were saying, well, maybe you need to lose weight, and I was going, I'm not doing what you tell me to do. I'm not doing that because you're telling me to do it. But now I just turn it around the other way, and I'm stubborn within the fact that I've lost my weight. I'm not putting it back on. It's not going to happen, and I will argue with myself. I'll go, no, I'm not having that. So I mean, I bought stupidly the other day to Tesco's, and I've bought this. So today, I've been thinking, oh, shall I have a bit of that? Once I open that, that's going. I'm not even going to lie. But I won't open that. There's no way I'll open it, because I just won't. I will argue with myself to the nth degree that I will not open that chocolate bar. And I'm so stubborn that I won't open that chocolate bar. It's not going to be open today. Probably be a few weeks time, but at the moment, that's in my, I will stick to plan, and I'm not going to deviate from the plan at the moment. I'm a pound 1.6 on Thursday. I was over my goal weight. I'm a pound over my goal weight now, and that is coming off. So need to proper knuckle down and go, right, that's it now, this is coming off. So it's not easy getting back on track sometimes, but it's about routine and habits for me as well. I know I said it before, and I do bang on about it a lot, but literally with me, it's all about routine and habits. I've spent years putting them in, and that it always brings me back to that. It just does. This is the way that I eat now. I don't eat the way I did before. That was how I ate before. This is the way I eat now. So it's so ingrained that's just literally that's what it's all about for me. So Sorry, I've lost my trail of thought. Shannon, I do well on purple as long as I track everything, even the 0-pointed foods. This lets me see what I've actually eaten. It's whatever works for you. I found, because with green, it's very different than it is with obviously purple and blue. But I found with green, the 0-pointed foods, it's fruit and veg. I think people will go to me, well, mango's really. Cause as I said the other day at work, I went, oh, I'm going to have some mango, but that's quite got a lot of sugar in, and I'm like, but I didn't get fat eating mango. I didn't get fat eating a banana. I didn't get fat eating apples. It's stuff like that chocolate bar that's eating stuff like that has done it for me. So yeah, if I'm hungry, I'd rather have an apple than deprive myself and then end up in my food cupboard or opening a chocolate bar. So yeah, where 0-pointed foods are concerned on green, I just not even going to put an apple in. So totally loving the green plan. I started the purple too and ended up struggling to keep within points. Really love the support you provide. Thank you. As long as it helps. Sometimes think I do waffle on a lot, but as long as it helps some people, that's absolutely fine. Thank you very much. Derry, my best advice for getting back on plan is to plan 2 days of meals, and by day 3 you'll find you're back on it. It's what works for you, and it's about finding what works for you to get you back on plan. It's very different for everyone. It's very, very different. But because my routine and habits are so entrenched, I just literally do it. It's just second nature to me now. Right, I'm up. What am I going to eat? And I tend to eat similar stuff all the time anyway. So if you watch my what I eat a day, it's all very similar. So Jill, I thought of you the other day when I chucked out a whole jar of Nutella. I don't know what it is. I've got Nutella in the cupboard, in the fridge. I've got, the duo spread, the white and, is it white chocolate or whatever it is, the white thing and the chocolate thing together. I've got that, don't bother me. I've got the Malteser one, don't bother me. That blooming hazelnut one, I don't know what it was, but literally I was sat in a Teams meeting with my camera off and my finger in the jar. It's like, what the hell? It's absolutely lethal stuff. It was absolutely terrible. Doesn't weighing daily mess with your head? No, I've been doing it. When I was at my heaviest, when I was at 31 stone, I couldn't weigh on my scales. My scales I think, started 28 stone. So when I first started, I couldn't do it. As soon as I got down to 28, I've been a daily weigher ever since. Been doing it all the time. And when I say daily weigher, you're talking multiple times a day. They're upstairs, so I will go to the toilet and I'll weigh. Then I'll disregard what it says. It's because I know my fluctuations now. I like it because I know my fluctuations. So I know that I weighed in this morning at 13.1. I know that by the time I go to bed tonight, I'll probably weigh about 13.6, 13.5. And then in the morning, I'll probably weigh around 13.1 again, unless I've had a bit of a dip. But then yesterday could have caught up with me, so I know about 13.2. Literally doesn't bother me. I only ever take the one reading on the Thursday as that reading is my weigh-in. Any other results don't mean anything to me. I'll take it as an indicator of what's going on. But then I've had a shock before, and I've stood on the scales and gained 6 pounds on the Monday, and then pulled myself together and gone, right, it's fine, and just got on with the rest of my week. These things happen. I've lost a lot of weight. I can gain a lot of weight weirdly, really quickly. Hormones are a huge problem for me. I can gain like 6 pounds. I've had a perfect storm before. I've had a day off plan, and I have had a huge bloat at the same time, and I've gained over a stone. But it does come off in the end. It always does. So with me, the daily weighing doesn't bother me because I know my fluctuations. I know full well that I can put £5 on in a day. It's just the way it goes. So, sorry, my cat's decided that she wants a cuddle, but she's whacking her tail against me, so I don't know if she's angry with me or what. Oh no, she's going upstairs. So yeah, daily weighing really doesn't affect me. I think if it does affect you, just try not to do it. And I know people that have got rid of scales because they just can't weigh because it just affects them. If I'm going to gain weight, I'm going to gain weight, and that's all there is to it. I think the worst for me is when I've gone to get weighed in class. I used to get weighed on a Monday, and I've stood on the scales, and I know full well a gain's coming, but I've stood on the scales and gone, right, I've gained on the WW scales, right, that's it, I've had a really good week. Stuff this, I'm going to go to McDonald's drive-thru and get myself a breakfast. But then by the time that I've got back to my car, because I didn't tend to stay, because I just popped in when I'm at work. So by the time I got back to the car, that's gone. I'm going, a McDonald's breakfast is not going to help me lose weight next week. I'm not using any points on, like I said on my results video the other day, I try not to use any weeklies on weighing day. Just purely because in my head, I like to stick to 30 points if I can on weighing day, because I don't want to see it as a treat day. I don't want it to creep into my head again, like it always has before, that weighing day doesn't count. Calories don't count on weighing day. Calories count every day. Calories count every single day. So it's that's just purely me and just the way that I think. And I have really weird, distorted views of way things are sometimes, and I'll sit there and go, right, I'll weigh in, and today's a day off because calories don't count on weighing day. But then it will affect my scales next week, and I know full well it'll affect the scales next week. So yeah, that's what I tend to do. I tend to stick to that. Kirsty, it's really late to the party, just finished work. Sorry if you've been asked this question before. When do I intend to go back to workshops? Sorry, it didn't pop up quick enough on my thing. Sorry, I've got my laptop on so that I can see the questions because they disappear off my phone. I will be going back to workshops next week. I'll be just going to get weighed. Goodbye, Sarah. Have a good week. I'm going back this week. I should be. So obviously it's just a pop in to get weighed. I was going to go last week, but I was going to go with somebody, but she had to cancel. And I'm quite close to goal. Well, I'm quite close to my highest goal. So my goal weight's 13 stone. At the moment, I'm 1.6. Well, I was on Thursday. If I'd have got weighed last week, I'd have had to pay. And I'm very cheap and I don't like paying. So it depends what it is this week. I will go because I'm going with someone this week. But if those scales are high, I won't be going in. Or I'll be going in just to say hello and I'm not stepping on your scales. You can have a check-in, but you ain't getting me to weigh. Wear little slippers to be weighed. Sometimes it makes no difference. I'm sure there's about, even with clothes on, because obviously I weigh on my own scales with no clothes on, I think it's around £3 difference. Could be a little bit more. It depends, because obviously I tended to nip around to different workshops and there aren't that many now. They've shut a lot of them. So with me, it's I'm going to give it at least a £4 difference for my clothes and any discrepancy in the scales. So yeah, hopefully if I'm 13 stone or under on my scales this week, I will go and get weighed. But I'm going anyway, so I will pop in and just go, no, I just want to check in. Don't want to weigh, I just want to check in. Are you going back? Is everyone going back to weigh-ins? What are you? I know I've had some messages saying that an awful lot of them are shut. All of my regular haunts have shut. I used to go on a Saturday, that's shut. I used to go on a Monday morning to pop in, that's shut. Most of the ones that I used to pop into are now shut. So it is, plus the fact that I like to weigh in the morning as well. Don't like to weigh in the afternoon. I weigh like 1:30. So my Thursday one's now shut. My normal Thursday one, that's gone. So I like to weigh in the morning. Latest I weigh is 1:30. But they're all gone. I think I've got some morning ones over in Solihull Way. So that's where I'm going this week. But then it's whether I'm over that way. But yeah, wear little slippers, yeah, because you've got to get away with your shoes on, haven't you? So yeah, we'll be going this week. Any more questions? So many are shut and the ones left are random times. it's really strange. I'm quite lucky that I live in Birmingham, and I live sort of on the cusp, so I've got Solihull and Birmingham. So there are a few open, but around by me, they tend to be like the evening ones, and I'm terrible. I will not eat if I need to get weighed, because obviously I know full well I gain £5 during the day. So as soon as I have a drink, I gain weight. Because I step on the scales. So I know full well as soon as I've had my first drink in the morning that I'm going to put at least £1 to £2 on. So if a morning one is fine, I can have a half one, because by that time I still won't eat. I'll have a drink, but I won't eat, and then hopefully it'll drop down. But this workshop wise, there's really not that much. They're in Scotland. They're not open until the end of April, so I will be going back. I have a pair of really silly slip-ons, as the guy looked terrible in them. I tend to wear I wear Asda shoes anyway. I like the Asda canvassy ones. I find them so comfy. I've got loads of different ones of those. I've got loads of different colours. I've got different stripes. I've got all sorts. So I love them. So I just wear some of them to go and get weighed in. So Jacqueline, were you giving more points once you got to goal? I am still losing. I've always been losing. My goal weight is 13 stone. I can go to 13.5 and still be within goal range, so that's fine. But my personal goal, so my GP set my goal. My personal goal is 12 stone, and I've only got there like 2 or 3 times. So I'll get there. Then weirdly, I'll go back up again. So I like to sit around 12.7. My body likes around 12.7. And as long as I'm around about there, I'm fine. But because I'm always trying to dip down, you do get extra points. If you go on the app and go on settings and change it from losing weight to healthy habits, you can see that you can mess with your points. I'm slightly naughty in the fact that when I drop down to 12 stone 9, I think, my points go from 42 to 35, but I still have 42, still give myself 42, which is probably why I never get down to 12 stone, because I do give myself those extra few points, which is probably what keeps me around 12.7, but I can lose on that amount of points. It's really strange. I have been tempted to try having more points to see if it helps me lose weight, especially when I hit those plateauy bits like I have done recently, because when I do have a day off plan like I have recently, and I lost a load, and I lost it really quick. So even though I put over £8 on, I've lost over 10. So it's really strange. I think it sometimes boosts my metabolism, so I'm wondering whether I just should eat some extra points. Don't know. Give it a whirl. I might do an experiment one week for a good about 4 weeks. Just give myself some extra dailies and just eat 32, 33 dailies every day plus my weeklies, and see if I lose weight on it. But I'll have to do it over a few weeks. I do say to people, if you're trying a plan, try it for about 4 to 6 weeks to see if it works, because if you do it over a week, you don't know. And I know people that can have chocolate one week and it won't show till the following week's weigh-in. So everybody's body works different. Obviously, hormones play a huge part. The weather can play a huge part. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be a bit cheeky and dip around everywhere. So Derry, yeah, when you change to healthy habits, I've got 36 dailies and 42 weeklies. It did make me maintain, and I've even had a weird occasion where I've lost. Exactly, I think sometimes... the thing is, they go by your age, your weight, and obviously you're earning fit points as well. But if you don't use them, which I don't use my fit points. It really messes with my head when I start using fit points. See, I have weird things where stuff messes with my head. If I do Blue Planet, it messes with my head. If I use fit points, it messes with my head. If I exercise too much, I don't lose weight. But then if I start using fit points, that messes with my head and I end up binging. And it's all really... My relationship with food is not the easiest of things, but I found with WW, as long as I stick to my 30 points, as long as I stick to those points that I've given myself that day, which is why I sneakily give myself 42 when I drop down to that point. I've switched to healthy habits, give myself 42 weeklies, stick to 30 dailies, because I know where I am and I know what I'm doing, and I've been on 42 weeklies for such a long time. If I drop down to 35, I dropped down to 35 before. Last year I dropped down to 35 because that's what the app said for me to do. Dropped down to 35, did it for 4 weeks and didn't lose. I think I gained a couple of weeks, lost a couple of weeks, stayed the same a couple of weeks, but I didn't lose on 35. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to stick to 42. If I lose, I lose. If I don't, I'm maintaining. Either way, that's what it is. But everybody's different, and they do say, so Derry said that she got 36 points. Some people will gain on 36 points every day. So what they tend to do is say jiggle it around. So I think a lot of people say sort of start around 32, 33 points a day when you're maintaining, and then up it if you're losing, and take it down if you're gaining. I know someone that just had to keep upping their daily points because they just kept losing. So I think they started around 32, then they had to go to 33 a day and still lost weight, then 34 and still lost weight. And she was getting quite concerned in the end. So in the end, she just went, right, okay, then I'll just keep adding it until, oh, sorry, your mail. Apologise. So sorry. But yeah, so everybody's different. So I know somebody that just had to keep adding daily points until they got there. So the WW chocolate spread is 2 points and tastes like Nutella. So you need to change your name. That's what it is. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I haven't tried the WW spread. I find it really difficult to order off the Weight Watchers site. I spent ages on there once and it just wouldn't let me check out. And after that, I can't be wasting my time. If something's taking me too long to do, I just don't waste my time on it again. I'm terrible like that. If it's taking me too long, I just go, I'm bored now and give up. That's why probably why diets didn't go very well before. Going fine now though. It's all good. So has anybody got any more questions? I like I said earlier, for anybody that wasn't here, I was going to do a Zoom, but Zoom is a little bit difficult. It will only give me 40 minutes if there's more than 3 people in the room. So I've had a look and I can do a Google Meet. Didn't even know it existed till earlier. There's also a Google Hangout. There's loads of these things around. So I had a look earlier and Google Meet is probably the best bet. Like I said, what I will do is I will put the link to it in the description for this video. I'll also put it around and about on my social media as well. If you can't find it, message me. I don't use Facebook Messenger. So if you're messaging me on Facebook Messenger, I ain't got it. So... Derry, I changed my name during the pandemic and I'm working from home. Everyone thinks I'm female until we video call. I bet that's a bit interesting calls in it. But yeah, so what I will do is do not message me on Facebook Messenger because I refuse to download another app to my phone. I was like, you want me to download another app? I've got Facebook on my phone. I'm not downloading Messenger as well. It's not going to happen. I've already got WhatsApp. I've got this. I've got that. I've got the other one. I'm not doing Facebook as well. I've got Instagram and I've got everything. You're actually better off messaging me on Instagram or in the comments here. It might take me a little while to get to the ones here, but on Instagram it pops up straight away, so I see it. So if you can't find the link anywhere, you're better off messaging me on Instagram. Also connect, whack it on a post, whack it in my comments on something. I do look at Connect because obviously I use the app, so I can answer on Connect as well. So if you need the code or you need the link, let me know. But Google Meets is probably the best and easiest one to do because you've all got access to it because you're using YouTube, and obviously that's Google as well. So what I'll do is it's probably easier. So you can go in via the link. I can't record that because I have to pay for that if I want to record it. If I want the recording option. So what I'll do is I will record me answering the questions. So people will hear you, but they won't see you. And if you don't want them to hear you, there is a chat box as well, exactly the same as here. But they won't know who you are anyway. So it's not that interesting to some people. So I don't know what you wrote, Derry, in there, but it's the message retracted. I've got the thingy comments on so people can't put rude stuff to me. Because I weirdly do get that. I get porn links on my YouTube. It's terrible. I also get tell you what started happening on Instagram. People putting the bloody finance stuff on my Instagram posts as well, linking to finance people. I have no idea why. It's very confusing. Work in human resources, so they're mostly female, and just assume. See, I did exactly the same thing. I apologise. Yeah, I think you need to change your name again. It's very confusing. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll do Google Meet rather than a Zoom meeting, but I will pop the link everywhere. But yeah, do bear in mind, I'll do it for next Saturday at 5 o'clock. But do bear in mind that I am not technical and I have no idea what I'm doing. I tried it earlier with my partner and I still have no idea what I'm doing. It seems pretty easy. Oh, you removed your message, you didn't retract it. But yeah, so if you want to come next Saturday, it's like Zoom, so you can see each other. We can all see each other, and because I won't record the actual screen, you can put your camera on if you like, because I'm not recording that. But obviously, people hear your voice, so I'll do what I'm doing here. I'll have my laptop here, but I'll record it on this. So I know some people have said that if they can't make it, especially I've got people that watch in New Zealand and some that watch in America as well. So obviously time zone wise, America it's not too bad, but New Zealand you're looking at first thing in the morning, aren't you? Middle of the night. So thank you everyone for coming. Has anyone got any last questions before we say goodbye? Okay then, so if you go via the link that I've put in various places for this video, you should be able to see the I'll put in the description the link now to next week. But if you haven't got the link, it takes a couple of days for this live to go on for some weird reason. It sometimes can take a little while. So thank you for everyone for coming. Thank you for your questions. I hope I answered everyone's question. See you later, everyone. Goodbye. Not a problem. See you later. Thank you. Thank you for coming, everyone. I will. The problem with me letting you know what my weighing goes at workshop is I've been weighing on my own scales for an awful long time. So I think what I'll do is when I'm doing my weigh-in still, I'll use my own scales. But I'll still tell you what I weigh on there, so don't bother me. So bye, everybody. See you later. I'm going to go and have my tea now. Bye.